My brother attacked me with a metal bat, leaving me with a broken arm. We'll handle this at home, Mom insisted. When I collapsed at work, my boss called 911. The EMT's discovery changed everything, but we'll deal with this at home, Mom whispered, pressing a bag of frozen peas against my swollen arm. Marcus didn't mean it. You know how he gets when he's stressed. I sat at our kitchen table trying to steady my breathing through the waves of pain. My name is Olivia Parker, and at 24 I'd just experienced my brother's worst outburst, yet the metal baseball bat he'd swung at me during his rage still lay in the hallway, a silent reminder of how quickly things had escalated. Mom, I think it's broken, I managed to say, wincing as I tried to move my fingers. I need to go to the hospital. No hospitals, she snapped. Her voice sharp, but her eyes pleading. Your father's campaign for city council is in its final weeks. We can't have any incidents becoming public knowledge. Of course, the campaign, everything in our family, revolved around maintaining the perfect image for my father's political aspirations. Marcus's violent temper had been carefully hidden behind closed doors for years, explained away as high spirits or boys being boys. Just take some painkillers and rest. Mom continued, already pulling out her phone. I'll call Susan at the pharmacy. She can get us something stronger without questions. I wanted to argue to demand proper medical care, but years of conditioning kept me quiet. Besides, the throbbing in my arm was making it hard to think clearly. The next morning, I dragged myself to work at the local library. My arm was a mottled purple, and I could barely move it, but calling in sick would raise questions. I'd gotten good at wearing long sleeves and making excuses. Olivia, my boss, Mrs. Thompson, caught me restocking shelves one-handed. Are you all right? You're pale as a ghost. I'm fine, I said automatically, the familiar lie tasting bitter, just tired. She frowned, clearly unconvinced. You're favoring your right arm. Did something happen? No, really, the room suddenly tilted and the books in my left hand clattered to the floor. The last thing I heard was Mrs. Thompson calling my name as darkness crept in from the edges of my vision. I woke to the sound of sirens and unfamiliar voices, and even T was leaning over me, her kind face focused as she checked my vitals. Hi there, she said, noticing my eyes open. I'm Maya. Can you tell me what happened? Before I could answer, my mother burst through the library doors. Her face a mask of controlled panic. I'm her mother, she announced, rushing to my side. There's been a misunderstanding. We can handle this at home. Maya's expression didn't change, but something shifted in her eyes. She'd seen this before. Ma'am, your daughter lost consciousness. We need to check her for injuries. She's fine, just tired from studying late, Olivia tell them, but Maya was already gently rolling up my sleeve, revealing the violent bruising underneath her. Sharp intake of breath made my mother step forward. She fell. Mom said quickly, she's always been clumsy. Maya looked directly at me. Her voice soft but firm. This isn't from a fall. These marks are consistent with impact from a balloon object. There's clear defensive bruising. My mother's face hardened. You don't understand, our family, your family, Maya cut in, still looking at me. Doesn't have the right to hurt you, and I'm mandated by law to report suspected abuse. For the first time in years, someone was seeing through the carefully constructed facade. Someone was offering me a way out. Don't you dare. My mother hissed, but her voice sounded distant as Maya helped me onto the stretcher. You're safe now, Maya whispered as they loaded me into the ambulance. You don't have to protect them anymore. As the doors closed on my mother's desperate face, I felt something inside me break free. The secret I carried for so long was finally coming to light, and despite the pain and fear, I felt an overwhelming sense of relief. The ambulance pulled away from the library, carrying me toward more than just medical help. It was carrying me toward freedom. The hospital corridor buzzed with activity, but I felt strangely calm as Maya wheeled me into the emergency room. The fear that had been my constant companion for years was giving way to something else: determination, multiple contusions, possible fracture of the right radius. Maya reported to the attending physician, Dr. Carter, patient lost consciousness at work, bruising patterns suggest repeated trauma. My mother's voice cut through the medical terminology. I demand to be present during the examination. She's my daughter. Dr. Carter, a tall woman with steel gray hair, fixed my mother with an unwavering stare. Ma'am, your daughter is 24, she has the right to be examined privately. Please wait outside for once. My mother's carefully crafted composure cracked. Olivia, remember what we discussed? Think about your father's campaign. Mrs. Parker, Maya stepped in, her voice firm. Either wait in the waiting room voluntarily, or security will escort you after my mother's reluctant departure. Dr. Carter began her examination. Each touch, each question, peeled back layers of secrets I kept buried. How long has this been happening? Olivia, I stared at the ceiling, fighting back tears. Marcus started getting violent when he was 14. I was 12. At first it was just pushing, throwing things. Mom said he was going through a phase. The doctor's pen paused over her chart. And your parents never sought help. They said it would ruin our family's reputation, Dad's political career. I trailed off, realizing how hollow the excuses sounded. The X-rays show this isn't your first broken bone. Dr. Carter said, gently, there are old fractures that didn't heal properly. I nodded, remembering each incident 3 years ago. He pushed me down the stairs. Mom said I tripped last year. It was my ribs. They said I fell off my bike. Maya, who had stayed nearby, exchanged glances with Dr. Carter. We need to document everything. She said, photos, statements, medical history, the police will want to build a complete case. Police, my heart raced. No, I can't. Olivia Maya sat beside my bed. Her expression serious. Your brother could have killed you. That arm injury a few inches higher, and that back could have struck your head. This isn't about your father's campaign anymore. This is about your life as if on cue. My phone lit up with messages from Marcus. Mom's freaking out. Why are you doing this to our family? You better keep your mouth shut. If you ruin Dad's campaign, you'll regret it. I showed the messages to Maya, who immediately called a police officer stationed outside my room. Add witness intimidation to the report. She said, her face grim. The next few hours passed in a blur of police statements, photographs, and medical procedures. My arm was indeed broken, requiring surgery to set properly, but it was the psychological evaluation that hit hardest. You're exhibiting classic signs of long-term trauma.